Hello, and welcome to Beyond Borders, the LU Off Campus Programs podcast, where we talk to our off campus programs alumni and hear about their experiences while abroad. Who do we have with us today?
My name is Beatrice. I studied abroad in London at the London Center last year, my spring term of my junior year.
Awesome. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about why did you choose the London Center? Was there something that kind of drew you to that option?
Yes. I had never studied anywhere abroad. I've never been anywhere abroad before, so it was kind of a way for me to sort of dip my toes into the studying abroad experience without having to know another language or really have to do much preparation in that way. And I also am kind of just like, there's a lot of British media and stuff that I enjoy, so I was just excited about that aspect of it too.
And what's your major? Did it feel like the London Center was a good fit for you that way?
It did. I'm an English literature major, and I was able to take a Shakespeare class while I was there, which contributed to one of the requirements I needed, which was like early English literature. So that fulfilled that requirement. And then I also had room to take a music history class and an art history class, which don't really give me credits for my major, but I just was really interested in those things.
That sounds really fun. Which one of those did you prefer?
I think, well, my favorite was the Shakespeare, but between the other two, I think my favorite was probably the art history one. We got to go on some field trips too. We went to Margate, which is like a seaside town.
Okay.
Took the train there and got to go to like 3 or 4 different small art galleries, and it was really cool.
That's so neat. I love that. Generally speaking, did you have things that you particularly liked or disliked about the London Center and the London program?
I think what I enjoyed most was the freedom I had to kind of explore on my own. And they give you free time when you're there. You have homework and stuff, but I was able to kind of just explore and walk around and go in places that I wanted to, and that was really cool. One thing about the London Center, I think, that can happen is you can feel a little bit isolated because you're living with other Lawrence students. I know in other programs you can live with like people who are native to the country that you're living. So I think it can be kind of easy to fall into just being inside in your flat with other Lawrence students, which is also cool. But I think pushing yourself to get out there and like meet other people is really important too.
Yeah. And so, side note, but what was the housing situation like? Like for me, I was living in a apartment with 4 people. We shared a kitchen, we shared some bathrooms. Was it like that, or was it more of like a dorm style?
It was similar to that. It was an apartment. There were, I believe, 4 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms, and my room had 3 people in it. So I shared a room with 2 other people. Everyone in those 3 rooms shared a kitchen and 2 bathrooms.
Gotcha.
So it was apartment. Definitely more freedom than being in like a college dorm, but not more space. Definitely crowded. Yeah.
So did you prefer that to the dorm style?
I think I did. I like being able to cook for myself and, buy groceries and take care of my own space.
For sure.
It definitely felt like close quarters, but not as much as I thought it might, because you really aren't in the apartment that much.
Right.
So it's really just for sleeping.
Do you have like some favorite study abroad memories?
I do have a couple off the top of my head.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I think I already told you about this because I was so excited about it, but for my Shakespeare class, we got to go see a lot of productions.
Okay.
And I got to see Henry IV, parts 1 and 2, which is at the Noel Coward Theater, and Sir Ian McKellen was in it.
Wow.
If you don't know, he plays Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings movies, and he's Magneto in the X-Men movies. Anyway, I was kind of freaking out. I was so excited. So he played Falstaff in that play, and afterwards we got to go wait for him by the stage door. And,
seriously?
Yes.
Oh my
say
gosh.
hi to him. And he signed a piece of paper for me, and he was very nice.
No way. That's so awesome.
Yeah. So that's definitely a highlight. I was like shaking.
Yeah.
So excited.
That is amazing. I can't believe that.
We also got to meet Toheeb Jimo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but he's in the show Ted Lasso. And so that was exciting.
That's so cool. Can you tell me about something that you wish you would have known about study abroad before you had left?
There are things that I probably did know but didn't think about enough.
Right.
Like, for example, the building where I was living didn't have an elevator, which seems like a
Oh,
very simple thing, but I think I wasn't thinking about that when I was packing.
right.
And my suitcase ended up being really heavy, and dragging it up the stairs was kind of.
What floor did you live
I
on?
think it was the fourth floor. Um,
Okay.
so it was, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It just, I think I would have packed a little lighter if
Right.
I'd been thinking about that.
That's a good point. If you go to Europe, most buildings don't have elevators
Right.
in them because they're like
Old.
hundreds of years old.
Super old. Yes.
Luckily, I lived in like a brand new building and we did have an elevator, but I was living on the 9th floor. So if I had to drag my suitcases
that would have
upstairs,
been really bad.
I would have cried.
And even just getting suitcases from the airport to the flat is like
exhausting.
Yes. Like when you're packing, think about yourself in the
Right.
future dragging the suitcase down the London street.
Yeah. Imagine you've got to take it down cobblestone for about a mile.
Yes.
And if you don't want to do that, then take some stuff out of your suitcase.
That would be the thing I wish I'd thought about a little bit harder.
Okay, do you have anything like life things, big things that you learned from study abroad?
There was a lot of personal growth that happened for me just in my own like confidence, and I feel like everyone says that, but it's really true. It's like a huge confidence booster to travel by yourself, especially since I hadn't done that before. And I had a lot of anxiety about doing that, being completely solo, and it really will be okay. That's what I learned. Like, there are people who can help you out if you need help, and I think I just became a more confident person in general after that experience because you just have to do it. Right. And so you do.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that was your first time actually like leaving the country too, right?
It was. And it was my first time flying by myself.
Oh my goodness.
It was scary.
Was it your first flight ever?
No.
Okay.
I've flown like many times within the US.
Yeah.
But I've always had like at least my brother or something.
Right.
He's younger than me, but I'm more scared than him. But I'd never flown internationally.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
Unless I can think of anything else on the fly. Why do you think someone should study abroad? Like, if you had to give your main reason that you'd be like, this is why you should do it, what do you think?
I think, especially if you're someone who knows that you want to travel at some point, it's a really good way to do it, usually for less money because your financial aid can like transfer.
Yeah.
But also to do it with a like really good support system in place for Lawrence staff and people wherever you're going. Specifically at the London Center, Lee is the like coordinator there, and he's super helpful. So there is kind of a safety net. I think that's how you put it once.
That is how I put it once.
Credit to you for that. But there's kind of less risk, I would say, than trying to travel for the first time later. I mean, you can do that too, but I think it's good practice.
It's really good points.
And also, like, the field trips and stuff, at least that I got to do when I was in London, were so cool. And like, a lot of the times, like, plays and stuff like that are kind of expensive to go to, and it's included in what you're already paying to be there. That's awesome. I never would have gotten to
meet the guy from the Lord of the Rings
or go to any of those cool plays and like concerts and stuff.
That's sick. Cool. Do you have anything else you do on campus that you want to like shout out or anything like that?
I work at the box office. So for about an hour a week.
Yeah.
So you might get lucky.
LU theater productions.
Theater performances. The opera's coming up, I think.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.